Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. We're on hump day for the week and got a special guest here. So let's get started with our weather, brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Drew Pollard and the hard-working crew up there taking care of our everyday comfort needs. But speaking of comfort, how about today? A high of 67, low of 41. That's pretty comfortable right there. I know Drew probably do some catch-up work, but I just love this kind of weather. I know y'all do too, and it's just really just gets you bouncing around a little bit faster. Our water temperature is still around 78 degrees, and we'll have another drop probably in another week or two. It start dropping pretty steady then, but right now it's 78, which is warm. The river reading is brought to us by Mountain Dew. Get out and do. The Apalachicola at Bluntstown, it's reading a 3.7 this morning. It's been pretty steady. It's been pretty steady for a couple of weeks now. It's been low, but it's been a steady low. Now take a look at the Chalkatcha at Careville. We mentioned this yesterday. It's extremely low. This morning, it doubled. It went from 0.7 to 1.4. Well, a little bit of rain we had, so still low on the Chalkatcha. Our wind direction now be coming out of the north at about 12. Take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. We have one tide today, high just at 4 a.m. and it's going to be low at 3:35. So one strong tide right there. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and look who's here. Billy. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning, country cousin.
Have a good drive down here?
Oh, man, traffic, everything's growing at Panama City down here.
I'm telling you, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, the traffic's worse than what it was.
It gets worse each month.
I don't know.
And when you look at the future planning, the home subdivisions, all is incredible.
Really?
What's in the future, the next 5 years. But anyway, we still got some woods and water around here.
Up in Jackson County we do, and we like it like that. Of course, everybody wants a job though, you know, so you got to have an economy. Yeah.
What's going on up your way?
Well, as y'all see with this weather changing and turning, it's hunting season. it's hunting season. Y'all have heard me talk over and over and say it just obnoxiously. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. If you ain't done started a month or so ago preparing for hunting season, sharpening off your shotgun and your rifle and getting it all tuned up and everything, and you keeping your corn out there. You know, the law says that you're supposed to maintain that food plot year round.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't do that.
Most people don't do it, but yeah, you're supposed to. What about dove season up there? That's always been legendary in Jackson County. How has it been this year?
It went pretty good. It went pretty good till everybody and his brother went to gather them peanuts. And guess what they done? Yeah, they took off, man. We had some around our property right here, and we busted a cap at them. Some, and then they got scarce because, man, when they gathered them peanuts, thousands of acres of them throughout the county over there, they just get hard to find.
They go anywhere they want to.
Yeah, but it's been better than snuff, not half as dusty, but dove season and a little bit of early duck season, and everybody's looking and speculating on finding them things. And
how did that September hunt go, the early season?
For duck?
Yeah, for duck.
Well, nobody brags about that stuff, see?
Okay.
It's kind of like finding a good fishing hole. You don't talk about it very much. And they've gathered some. They couldn't help but do it because they exist out there. But if we can get a good cold weather early on, and I think it might be a cold winter, that's speculation on my part and what I'm reading and seeing. And seeing cold weather earlier in the season like this, you think it's going to get cold and it may push them further south. I
think the Farmer's Almanac, somebody told me the other day that they're predicting a cold winter. So if the Farmer's Almanac is, then it's got to be, you know, they used to be, the old timers used to swear by that.
That's true. They predict the hurricanes, but they miss on them, and we're grateful for the fact that they missed what they claimed.
We're talking about a change in weather conditions. So what about Lake Seminole area? Are they bass fishing and all that going okay?
No, not too much on my side, pan fishing is still going on. I see old Bernard Neal's boat at the ramp all the time. I guess he's catching fish for church fish fries all the time, because that rascal can catch them. And if he's not there, he's at the river part of the time, putting in there at Chattahoochee and fishing.
You know, talking about church fish fries, I know you were down last week at Highland Park Baptist Wild Beast Feast.
Yeah.
Was that something else?
It was enjoyable. The fellowship, meeting people, and then seeing some of your friends, and introducing my pastor to them, and it was Pastor Toby. And then the great message, that was fantastic.
Yeah, the great message, and the food was something else too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was enjoyable. It really was.
I was just they do such a good job. They all work hard at it. It's hard to put on something like that.
You can't do it without help. Many hands make for light work. That's the truth.
Yeah. I didn't mention the car show. Did you get over there?
Yeah, I did. I did. I enjoyed looking at that. And I had a 54 Chevrolet pickup truck one time, and I saw an older Chevrolet sitting there and made me reminisce and talk about it. And I paid like $375 for it, and drove it for about 3 or 4 years, and sold it for $400.
So you made a profit.
An old blind hog will find an acorn, huh? Yeah.
I've got a truck story. I don't really want to get into it. It makes me sad. It was a 1948 Chevrolet truck.
Wow.
I was its third owner, and I knew the first 2 owners. And but anyway, that 5-window cab. I tried to find some pictures and show y'all, but anyway, I got a situation where I had to sell it, and I still to this day regret selling that.
Them game wardens can cost you a lot of money. I understand.
And what the guy, if I'd known the guy that bought it, if I'd have known, I wouldn't have sold it to him. He was actually here at the Navy lab as a diver, and he stopped by and bought it, and he said, "Man, I'm gonna be transferred to California. I can't wait to take it out there and get it chopped up."
Chop it up.
My heart sank, because if I'd have known that. But anyway, those things happen. But I have a soft spot in my heart for old vehicles.
Yeah, and, old trucks. I do,
man.
That's
all right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. There was Billy Grantham. I always enjoy having him come down. He brings a lovely bride down, and I appreciate having them and all they do for Panhandle Outdoors. And also, you called any ball games up there, and Sneed's having a good year.
Great year, phenomenal.
So Friday night lights have been strong up there.
It's been good, and enjoying the sportsmanship. And everybody shaking hands when it's all over with, you know.
Yeah. Wish they all did that. But tell me about the tree you brought us.
Y'all remember me showing off the acorns a year or so ago, and but I grew some. I set some out, and this is one of about 25 of them I've got, and set some out in my field on my property.
Chestnut.
Swamp chestnut. Swamp chestnut. They are a relative or a cousin, closely related to the white oak. They will bear generally almost every year, but they'll miss a couple of years and not do as heavy. And matter of fact, this tree here, particular one I've got the acorns off of, this year doesn't have just a very few acorns on it.
So it does a cycle, probably.
It does, and I've read up on it more and more. But this is one of them. I've got some a little taller, and I got some shorter, and I try to put them out in pairs because they did the same thing at the check station, because they turn male and female, and or germinate one another. May not need to necessarily, but anyhow.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
They love water. They love water. I bring it. I got one out there in the truck for you, and got this one I give to you, and then you can set them out there, maybe up at your spot, County.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Natural food.
If they keep good and stay wet, not up on the hillside nowhere.
Yeah, right.
Make a dig a big hole.
Yeah.
Around it.
I look forward. I enjoy doing that.
I do too.
I love to get out of the woods, digging holes, cutting limbs, and everything. There's something special about getting there. Speaking of out in the woods now, we got hunting season coming up. What's going on?
Well, of course, I got my own spot that I hunt on, and seems like every year somebody else is getting closer and closer to me, and I'm looking at her, and boy, howdy, and more competition. But the Appalachian Management Area where I go to, and we'll hunt, I will work there less this year than I have the last 6, because it's not a necessity. Youngin's out of college.
Okay.
Matthew's grown and gone, and by the way, he's got a son born, another grandson, and boy, we've enjoyed that. Hope to go up there and see him tonight and love on him, and get some sugar off that boy, or maybe not, huh, baby? Anyhow, we hope to go up there and see him and have supper with him.
Very good.
But and hear him talk about his hunting season plans. But Appalachian Management Area has done so well with game management and people understanding that if you let him walk, he'll get bigger. And now they've give out 45 doe tags.
45.
That's how the population has mushroomed in there and grown. They give about by quota. You won't get one. Don't be calling up there wanting to know how you're going to get one of them, because you have to apply for the quota, and then they draw out of that. They draw to see who gets.
And it's already been drawn for this year.
Yeah, it's all done.
For next year, you can talk about it.
Everybody's done got theirs. Excuse me, in the mail.
Yeah.
And so it'll just be a little bit more occupied and busy than people bringing their doe out, their meat, as you say.
Well, we're talking about taking these does. It's just, I mean, everybody, all research shows it, or just common sense shows it. You got to take them out.
Yeah, you do. I didn't want to shoot any on my property the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Guess what? They got hit by cars about a quarter mile from me over there where they're coming out of the management. They got hit by cars, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
I know. You could have had them in the freezer.
I could have put them in the freezer. Oh man.
That's a good point though, because it becomes overpopulated, and they move around. Because they eat all the food here, they got to move over there and find the food.
Yeah.
And get in the highway.
Well, they killed 20 during bow season, or that about that number last year during bow season.
Okay.
And you'd think that would get them in check, but boy, howdy, no.
Yeah.
So.
Or do you have any wild hogs up in there?
You know what? Betwixt them allowing us to go in there and hunt them with dogs in the summer, and then encouraging every hunter in there to shoot one and harvest it. Excuse me. And then the state bringing in a contractor to trap them.
Okay.
They've got that herd way down, which is great, because they could damage a quail nest and quail nesting and everything else in there they could put damage to. They will run down a fawn and kill it. So
is the quail population stabilized?
It's gotten a little bit better every year since the hurricane.
Okay.
And the theory is that because there's more brush on the ground and hiding spots to get away from predators.
Good.
That's the theory.
Good for you. Predators, coyotes, and all them?
They're not too much in there.
Okay.
Every year they might shoot 1 or maybe 2 in there, but you don't hear them that often in there, and you don't see them very often. People will shoot at them in the middle of the day if you see them. I know I will.
I know. What about, is anybody squirrel hunt up there any?
In there, there's not enough hardwood bottoms to make it that way, and they do a little bit, but not much. Quail hunt, dove hunt, deer hunt. That's the predominant thing.
If somebody's going to dove hunt up there next year, how will they go about dove hunting in there?
Well, when the season comes in, they'll open the gate up, and you're able to just go in there and find you a field. And that's another thing that's happened. Because of the economy and fuel cost and the fertilizer, they haven't planted as much in there this year. There's a lot of fields in there that are growed up. Of course, they'll mow them down to make them accessible to get the property. And there's an awful lot of wild seed in there that when you mow it down makes it where the birds can get to it. But there's not as much planted in there this year as it has in the past.
That's interesting.
A lot of corn, very, very little peanuts. And and they love them. What peanuts I've seen in there are eat down to the nubbin.
They love them, don't they?
Oh, they do. And usually a peanut vine would be up, blossomed over like that. No, sir, them things gone.
Is the harvest over now? Everything been harvested up there?
No, there's probably still some corn in there that ain't been harvested, yeah.
All right, but county-wide, in general, all the farmers, are they
they're still doing some peanuts. I still see some peanuts here and there.
Okay.
There's a lot of cotton still standing.
Yeah.
They're spraying it now as we speak to get the foliage off of it so they can come back and harvest
So
it.
that's how they do it. They spray it, and that's how they do it. Okay.
On cotton, they'll spray it to get the leaves to fall off.
Okay.
Then they'll come by and combine it. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a final break and brought some pictures, and we're going to see what he's got. So we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. So here we have our fellow Panhandle Outdoors team member, Billy Grantham, coming down from Jackson County. And let's take a look at our fishing game time brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers down in Port St. Joe. 7:12 to 9:12 this morning, and 7:35 to 9:35 tonight. Now, Billy, you brought some cool pictures of just good folks, outdoorsmen doing stuff, so you go ahead and go with it.
Yeah, y'all see up here right now, this is Will Perkins. Old Will comes into management all the time. Boy, he loves to shoot them ducks and does a good job at it. Deer hunts in the Appalachian management area. He's been off and caught that, what is that, a big?
Oh, that's a big old, that's a nice grouper. Now, you talking about some good fish tacos or some man grouper sandwiches? I need to call him up. All right.
Right there is Lawana McDonald and her husband, Robert. I went to high school and graduated with them. They let me cheat off their paper a lot so I could get graduated. Anyhow, no, I'm teasing. But they down there at Presnell's all the time.
Okay.
Fishing out of there. And there's some more stuff they got a month or so back.
Yeah.
But they took some friends and family out and enjoy themselves. Does a great job too, boy. Look here, that is Thelma Bloat. Thelma Bloat. She's fishing on that lake or that river all the time, mostly on the lake. And that's a tilapia.
That's a tilapia.
Yeah,
you know, when you look at it first, I thought it was like going to be a triple tail.
Can you imagine that thing on about a 12-foot brim buster?
Ooh.
Ooh, you'd be hollering all over the place.
So that was like in a big pond, you think?
That was Lake Seminole.
That was in Lake Seminole?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
Cool Ray Weeks, old Cool Ray, caught some of them hybrids right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, does it all the time. Can catch fish, man. There's Lawana again at Presnell's. The sun going down. She's out there on that conch, blowing that.
That's it, blowing the conch.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, the sun going beautiful. She had lots of pictures. All right, McLean Baxter and his buddies right there, been out hog hunting. They do that in some areas around there where there's plenty of good hogs and somebody let them do it.
Big old hog.
McLean played baseball this last season. Fantastic ball player.
Oh, great.
Look here.
Look here.
Scott Gosnell's my spotter, and he's an announcer too, who does a lot of ball games as well. That is mooring hens. Winston, you've heard me speak of them.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, but they're about a third of the size, 2/3 the size of a chicken, and a lot of meat on them, and they get them.
Well, listen, where do you hunt for those things?
Well, it comes open early September. They're at Appalachia. I mean, they're at Lake Seminole.
You walk up on them?
You know, you can use a kayak or a small boat and ease around real slow and ease around there and shoot them.
That's one thing I've never done. Okay.
Yeah, and that's his daughter right there, Sydney. She is something else of a hunter, an outdoorsman, outdoors lady.
He's got her on. She's on point right there.
Yeah, she's on point. He's easing along there, and they'll find them off out there wading around.
That's great.
Yep. Dove hunter too. Alex drill bit back, so y'all seen him on the show. Turkey hunting, hog hunting, deer hunting. That's a cobia.
Yeah.
At the Tyndall Bridge.
How about that?
Huh?
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah.
That's cool.
Ain't that something? And of course, that old small rat red he got right there, not very big. He don't not like to catch them big ones.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, he tugged right there at Tyndall Bridge.
Yep.
I won't say no more than that.
Yeah.
Chipola River. My sister had done some work down by the river. She waded out in that thing because it was cold. That was back in July. and it was cold and nice, and got a picture.
That's the way you do it. You get hot, just wait out in the water and cool
But
down.
you know what? She don't know I showed that picture. Wait till she sees the show.
She's gonna be mad at you.
Yeah, old Carla right there. She's retired now, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at there.
Wow.
Buckshot, little Buckshot, and Miss Page showing off Super Duper. His name is Cooper.
Super Duper Cooper.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Lives up there in the edge of North Holmes County.
I don't know if he may get to do some outdoor stuff growing up. You reckon?
Boy, nothing but that. His old daddy is nothing but a hunter, and grandpa a hunter. They all in the woods. Just in case you out there fishing sometime and somehow you hang one of them things right there.
Yeah.
Flat show tear up a finger if you don't use it. Get rid of it. Right. Winston,
Yeah.
It's not deer season. It's car. I got hit by a vehicle.
Oh man.
That's a crying shame.
Okay.
Grandbaby Avery Dawn Pavick.
Look at that.
They up there in the woods of Georgia hiking.
That's beautiful.
And her husband, her dad.
Yes. That's beautiful. We got about 30 seconds. Yeah, hiking up there. We talk about hiking all the time. Just look at all.
Look at the gator laying there in the bottom of that water.
Oh man, look at that gator.
Yeah, in case you want to recover your decoys.
Oh yeah, I'll let you go get decoys. We made it just in time, Billy. Good pictures, and thank you, buddy.
Brought Jeff a jar of homemade pear preserves. I ain't gonna brag on them because I made them, not my wife.
I know they're good. Thank y'all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. We appreciate the viewership. Do something good today for your fellow man, and God bless.
Amen.
Watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.